suggestion of a snigger. At one point, he stopped and swung around as if he'd forgotten a file and needed to go back. No one was paying him any attention. Two at least had their eyes on Ingeborg, the novice detective, as she bent over a filing cabinet. Keith Halliwell, the longest-serving DI, and well capable of practical joking, was on the phone. The civilian staff were fingering their keyboards. Yet he doubted if Halliwell would stoop to this. Halliwell had been with him that ill-fated morning when he attended a crime scene in Royal Victoria Park and made the worst of all discoveries. Keith, of all people, knew better than to trespass on his personal life. The hoax theory withered and died. He moved on and kept going through the building as far as the canteen, picked up a mug of tea and a sticky bun, and parked himself at a table at the quiet end. He was used to being alone. Not for long. Assistant Chief Constable Georgina Dallimore, the closest thing he had to a boss, appeared from nowhere carrying a glass of water and sat opposite him.
"Peter, you look peaky."
Peaky? That was a word from the past. He'd last heard it used by one of his aunts 40 years ago to explain why she wouldn't sample his mother's Victoria sponge.
"I'm okay," he said to Georgina.
"Overwork?"
"Hardly."
"Something personal?"
"I said I'm okay."
The boss gave him a sympathetic look. She'd given him looks like that ever since Steph was murdered, as if she expected him at any moment to bury his face in her bosom and sob uncontrollably. She said,
"An MP report has come in."
"That's all we need,"
he said, rolling his eyes upwards. She frowned.
"What's wrong?"
"Politicians, that's what's wrong. We don't want them breathing down our necks."
"Not members of Parliament," she said in the despairing tone of a schoolmistress to the kid who never listened. Diamond had an inbuilt resistance to abbreviations. "A missing person." He thought about that for a while before saying,
"Got you."
"A woman in Walcott with a partner and 2 small daughters was out on Tuesday night and hasn't been home since."
"Tuesday? Well, that's only yesterday."
"It's very unlike of her," Georgina went on, as if she hadn't heard. "She's in the habit of speaking to her mother on the phone every day at the same time."
"The mother reported it, not the partner."
"He's relaxed about it. Says she must have needed space and she'll come back when she's ready."
"He's probably right."
"And you want it checked?"
"Please, Peter."
"Isn't it rather quick? 1 night away isn't much. She's not a 14-year-old.
Georgina's chest expanded, an ominous sign well known in the Mamba Street Nick.
"I happen to have spoken to her mother. She's in my choir. A level-headed woman. She wouldn't fuss without reason."
He understood now. Georgina was a devoted singer. How good her voice was he didn't know. She had joined and left several of Bath's many choirs over the past 4 years. Even so, there is a fellowship among singers, a kind of Freemasonry as Diamond viewed it, that meant they helped each other when they could. She was going to insist on a routine check.
"Who's looking after the kids?"
he asked.
"The partner."
"And they're his?"
"I believe not."
"His name?"
"Corcoran. Ashley Corcoran. More importantly, hers is Delia Williamson."
She handed him a scrap of paper with some details she got from her friend in the choir. Missing persons are a constant of police work. Over 4,000 join the list every week in Britain. Rebellious teenagers, runaway spouses, middle-aged dropouts, feeble-minded old people. The index grows steadily, but a good proportion return. Some give cause for real concern. A few are never heard of again. He returned upstairs and told D.C. Ingeborg Smith to find out what she could about Delia Williamson.
"Are you thinking this is domestic, love?"
Ingeborg asked, mustard keen as usual. She had everything on computer at the speed of a texting teenager. As a former investigative journalist, she was used to meeting deadlines.
"I'm keeping an open mind."